What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. I cannot believe that this is a real sentence, but Tommy Pham called a Blue Jays hitter a steroid user after he took offense to something that happened in the game versus the Blue Jays. But then again, it's Tommy Pham, so it actually kind of makes sense, and I actually can't believe it. Bryce Harper became the first person all year to have 2 home runs in the same game that went over 440 feet. Kyle Tucker of the Cubs, he's officially been benched, and he might be on the bench for the next few days, whether it's because he was jogging or he just needs a reset. Michael Harris of the Braves has been Barry Bonds for the last month after he changed his batting stance. Raffy Devers and the Giants are looking much better, and Orioles fans, they're feeling a lot better about the Kyle Stowers trade after Trevor Rogers, he shredded again. So we'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB recap. A reminder, we talk baseball almost every single day, so stick around, leave a like, and hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to save yourself 20 bucks off on SeatGeek using code Fuzzy, and if you've never tried Underdog Fantasy, if you download it today with code Fuzzy and enter $5, they're going to give you $50 instantly. You're welcome. To start today's recap, we actually have an update on Aaron Judge, and stop me if you've heard this before about a Yankees health update. So the Yankees apparently got it wrong. They said that he was probably going to be back in the outfield throwing like normal before the 20th of August, but instead, Aaron Boone came out this morning and said that we most likely will not see Aaron Judge throw normally for the rest of the year. Giancarlo Stanton, everyone's been saying that he should be fine out there, but now he needs a full-blown breather after playing outfield for 3 days in a row. Like, why is it always the Yankees with confusing health updates? Why are they known for that? It's kind of embarrassing. Wait, the Rockies beat who? See, this is why we both love and hate baseball so much, because it's just so random sometimes. Ohtani, he added a second run for the Dodgers following a Dalton rushing sac fly, but here's Ryan Ritter again delivering for the Rockies. That's back-to-back games with a 2-run base hit. He's batting .346 with 8 runs batted in his last 8 games. He's a rookie, and so is this kid, Alex Freeland. He untied it with a double to score Freddie Freeman, only to see the lead go away again. Ezekiel Tovar reset it. He has a sneaky 7 home runs. Remember, he missed a bunch of time. I haven't really heard a lot about him this season, but that's because he's on the Rockies. It's 3-3 in the 9th inning. You guys feel that? Seems like it's warming up. Warming! Burner Bell, he walks it off against the Dodgers after the Dodgers just swept the Padres. So according to the laws of baseball, the Padres must now win because they got swept by the Dodgers, and now obviously they're going to gain a game on the Dodgers thanks to the Rockies, right? The Giants said not so fast. They powered up for 3 home runs in the very first frame. Heliot Ramos has been awful against lefties, so naturally, he got one to go against a lefty. Raffy committed left-on-left crime. He goes back-to-back with Heliot Ramos. That's his 9th as a Giant. He has a 121 OPS plus as a Giant, so he's slowly heating back up. Wilmer, another home run off of Nestor. Nestor has now allowed 8 home runs in the first inning this year, which is crazy because he's barely even played this year. We have a fan interference, so the fan deflected it slightly, but it also hit off of Heliot Ramos' glove, so they called it, I don't know if it was a double or a home run, but it was overturned. Xander is out, and they were basically saying that the glove went up in the air, like straight up, so it cost the Padres a run because that would have been the 4th run that would have sent this game to extras. I don't know what Casey Schmidtt was doing over there at the hot corner. I would have called this a double error, so yeah, that happened. Pinch hitter Ryan O'Hearn almost did it all by himself. Goodbye, baseball. More left on left. So Robbie Ray was 1 out away from going 7 with 0 earned runs. Remember that Casey Schmidtt error kind of did him in. If Randy gets Ryan, this game's over. And Ryan got sawed off, so Ryan tried to do it all by himself. The Padres have lost 4 games in a row. The Giants are back to being 5.5 games back of a wild card spot. I feel like we just said the Brewers were the first in baseball to 70 wins a few days ago. Now they're 1 win away from 80 after bodying their division rival. So we know that Kyle Tucker has officially been benched, whether that's because of a lack of hustle or he just needs a few days off. He will not be playing in this game, or the reports are saying he won't be playing for a few days. Bryce Turang and Caleb Durbin aren't the biggest of dudes, but the Brewers, I mean, they got small guys, but they have some big boy swings. They both homered for Freddie Peralta, who won his 15th game of the season already. Freddie went 6 shutout innings with 1 base hit, 6 strikeouts. His ERA is back under 2.8. The Brewers, they ran it up to 7-0 on an error. We had some RBI singles from Ortiz, and Bryce Turang had another RBI. There was a fielder's choice. There was a wild pitch. Just kind of awful Cubs baseball. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The Brewers are 79-45. The Cubs, they are 25-26 since June 19th. That is for sure not going to cut it if they want to make a playoff run. Then again, the Tigers had a horrid stretch where they lost like 10 of 15 or something insane like that. And now they're back to being really dang good. They popped off 4 times in this game. Wencel Perez, he walloped one out. And then this next swing, it's not a home run, but I honestly think that triples can be just as fun to watch. It's a 2-run 3-bagger for Kerry Carpenter, Kerry Bonds. Riley Greene. This dude is going to get some top 3 MVP votes. That's his 29th home run. He has 92 RBIs and also 2 outs above average on defense. It's either going to be him, Bobby Witt Jr., or J-Ram fighting for 3rd place behind Cal Raleigh and Judge. Trey Sweeney, he showed off his great genes with that 6'3 build, the sweet swing on a 3-run tater. He also had a triple earlier in the game. Colt, yeah, he keithed a baseball. Yeah, we use last names as verbs sometimes on this channel. Jack Flaherty, he was insane on the bump. He's been a strikeout machine all year. He had 9 more, but this time he did not allow 4 or 5 runs like he's been doing all year. He goes 7 shutout, 3 base hits. The Tigers are 74 and 53, so 21 games over 500, which is still really good. This is a perfect time for the Mariners to clutch up and gain a game on the Astros after they got smacked around by the Tigers. Logan Gilbert got pants though in front of his crush. Like, that's basically how Logan must have felt, because Kepler and Stott already drove in a few runs in the second. It's nothing really he can't control. It's not out of hand. Okay, now it's very out of hand. Trey knocked in both of those guys with a 3-run home run. He has 5 consecutive multi-hit games and 14 outs above average on the season, and he's still 100th percentile in speed at 32 years old. He is a freak of nature. JT Realmuto went yard, so that made it 9 hits and 6 earned runs off of Logan Gilbert. Bryce Harper, I talked about it in the intro. He had 2 home runs. This one went 440 feet, so he joins the 20 home run club. His 21st went even further. In between, you have Mitch Garver going yard, and then I also think Cole Young, the rookie, went yard, but that was off of Jordan Romano. So Rangers shutout did get ruined. Romano made it even worse, but hey, Ranger had 10 strikeouts, only 4 base hits across 6 2/3. Trey made it a 4 RBI night. Schwarber knocked him in, and Harper went 448 feet. He became the first player all year to have 2 440-plus feet home runs in the same game. He has 27 extra base hits and a 1.014 OPS his last 33 games. Trey, this guy looks like a future Hall of Famer in my eyes. That's his 5th RBI. The Phillies are back to their winning ways. They've won 2 in a row. The Mariners have dropped 3 in a row, but thankfully, the Astros have also dropped a few in a row as well. I have no transition for this next game other than Paul Skenes was on the bump, and Tommy Pham went full manic after the game. I have no idea. Like, why did he think that this was a good idea? Anyways, Paul Skenes has a lead. That's an awesome play by IKF, but it does snap Skenes' near 30-inning shutout streak at home. Bo. This is why Bo Bichette leads the league in base hits almost every single year. He's not afraid to get beat and just kind of dunk baseballs the other way. Vladdy? Oh, Heineman dropped it. I thought he was about to make a sick play. Bo! And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo have been so good this year, especially Vladdy with the stretches to make sure that the runner is out, but that kind of cost Vladdy because it really looked like he hurt his hammy on that one. Paul Skenes obviously didn't have his best day, but he had 8 punch-outs over 8 innings. I do want to show all 8. He did not get a W because it was 2-2 after he came out, so obviously you have to be winning if you need a W, but his team did win. There was a wild pitch for the lead, and now we get the drama with Tommy Pham. So Tommy Pham, he worked a walk, and then he bat flipped in front of the catcher, Tyler Heineman, because Tommy Pham, he told us this on Twitter. Actually, I'll talk about this in a second. I want to show the rest of the game because the Jays, they're imploding. There was misplay after misplay. The Jays committed 3 errors as they get beat by the Pirates 5-2, as Dennis Santana, he gets his 8th save of the year. Now, after the game, Tommy Pham, I don't know if he went directly to the clubhouse and opened up Twitter, but it was pretty quick. He started spraying and praying just anything that he thought would stick. He said that Tyler Heineman was arguing balls and strikes, which not only disrespects the umpire, but disrespects Tommy Pham because Tommy Pham has a good eye. So if you're saying that it's a ball, you're saying that Tommy's wrong. So he took offense to that, and that's why he bat flipped in front of Tyler Heineman, but he did not stop there. Tommy Pham is hitting like 330 his last 30-40 games. He's 37 years old. He was probably going to get a contract after this season. I don't actually know if Tommy Pham is going to be welcomed back in Major League Baseball after these accusations or these tweets. So he said out loud that Addison Barger, who's having a breakout season, takes steroids. He used the present tense that he's currently taking steroids, but then again, that was after he said that Addison Barger has a TUE, a therapeutic use exemption. So Addison Barger back in 2019, it was almost a Chris Davis type situation where Chris Davis had severe ADHD, so he was taking, I believe it was something, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but he was taking something to help him focus. I don't know if Addison Barger is taking the same exact thing, but it falls under a PED umbrella. So is that what Tommy Pham is talking about? I don't know why Tommy Pham continues to find himself in just weird situations, just getting in fights over fantasy football, getting in brouhahas at bars, and ended up being just Tommy Pham has to chill. So we recently just saw the Angels sweep the Dodgers, and now the Angels are back to losing almost every other game and falling deeper and deeper behind in the wild card standings. Cincinnati has done the opposite. Gavin Lux, he's finally showing off his ace swing. That's only his 5th home run, but in my opinion, there's a lot more pop left in the tank. That was kind of all she wrote for this one on offense. Taylor Ward had a double for the Angels that drove in their only run, but Brady Singer, he was awesome. Look at Ke'Bryan Hayes playing hot potato for the double play. One more Ke'Bryan Hayes play. He is trying so hard to win a platinum glove. The bare hand, he has 17 outs above average. He's going to be in the running for sure with a Nick Allen and a PCA and guys like that. Also, I will mention that Hayes has an 85 OPS plus for the Reds, which is still not good, but it's better than the 60 he had with the Pirates this year. I guess he'll take it. Ellie, I'll show this. He tripled and then scored on a sac fly. Brady Singer, he ends 6 strong innings with his 4th strikeout. And speaking of 4s and strikeouts, Scott Barlow, he ended a 4-out save with 4 strikeouts. The Reds, they've won 2 games in a row. They're 1 game back of the Mets for that final wild card spot. Boston better be careful. Staying with wild card conversations, they cannot afford to go on a losing streak right now because the Yankees, they've been winning a lot. Same with the Royals. Cleveland, they're in the thick of things as well. Gunnar, he's back to ripping home runs. Listen, Baltimore, they're probably not going to make the playoffs, but they can break some hearts and ruin the hopes of other fan bases while they kind of, fix things going into 2026 because, again, they're probably not going to make it, but they can even give chances to rookies like Dylan Beavers. That's his first career RBI, and yes, that is a real name. The Orioles' 2-run lead, might as well call it 200 runs because Trevor Rogers is on the mound again, and this is 2025 Trevor Rogers, 6 more scoreless innings. Who is this dude? We have not seen Trevor Rogers look this locked in since 2021, and more on him in a second because Gunnar is now legging out a triple. Mountcastle, he's going to secure an RBI. Now back to T-Raj. He had 7 strikeouts over 7 innings. Jarren Duran ruined the shutout. Why'd you do that, buddy? But that gave Trevor Rogers his 4th earned run his last 4 starts. He has a 1.41 ERA over 12 starts this year, so that Kyle Stowers trade, maybe it's not as bad as we all thought. Samuel Basayo, he drove in 2 more RBIs. He's played 2 games. He has 4 RBIs. He had 26 home runs and an almost 900 OPS and 97 AAA games. So the kid is the real deal. Get used to this. We have a Nathaniel Lowe sighting. He made his Red Sox debut. He took a walk and ended up scoring on a Jarren Duran shot off the monster, so we have some wall ball. All 3 runs were driven in courtesy of Duran, who has 34 doubles, 12 triples, 12 home runs, and 20 stolen bases, but the Red Sox, they do lose. They are now 4-6 their last 10. I still think that they're going to be okay. I like the Red Sox roster. But now, Cleveland, they can get within 3 games of replacing the Red Sox and punching their ticket to October. CJ Kayfus is a rookie who rakes. He has a very, very bright future ahead of him, at least in my opinion. He got on again in the 5th. He has such a sweet, smooth swing, and now it's Brian Rocchio's turn. This swing is not first half Brian Rocchio. I think he got sent down and someone must have told him, dude, just sell out. You have contact skills. Use some pop. He's batting .290 with an almost .780 OPS since the recall, which isn't Babe Ruth or anything, but you'll take that from a second baseman now that Gabriel Arias is the main shortstop. The big rig, he was back to rigging. Gavin Williams, he shut out the Diamondbacks. He punched out 5 snakes in the process. His fastball curveball duo was just otherworldly. We have a bare hand play. No, wait. So Bacchus got his bare hand on the ball. I mean, you do not want to see that as a Diamondbacks fan because you can get hurt, but Blaze, he made the play. That play plus this Perdomo triple, I am afraid. You guys know I'm a Guardians fan. Please do not blow this. Kittel's up as the game tire. Book it. Cade Smith, he just wrapped up his 7th save. So the Guard Dogs are 3 games back of the Los Medias Rojas, if I got that wrong. I'm trying to learn Spanish before 2026 rolls around. Please correct me on something. Some of you guys have already done that with, I said Senor Smoke. It's Senor Smoke. Thank you. Now the Royals, man, they're on a steamer as of late. Yaz, he has 8 extra base hits in his first 15 games as a Royal. He's up to a 150 OPS plus so far. The Pasquatch, he is going to get 100 RBIs. I'm going to knock on wood because he has 82 right now after hitting his 23rd. He's on pace for 107 RBI, so he's on pace to get it unless I fully jinxed it. Maikel Garcia, he's become a top 5 third baseman. He ripped a solo home run, and he was awesome when he first began his career back in 2023. He really tailed off, but now he's batting .302 with 32 doubles, 22 stolen bases, 8 outs above average. He's second in F4 only to J-Ram for third basemen in baseball, so technically he's been a top 2 third baseman. The Rangers, they rallied, but Estevez, he secures his 32nd save to give Walker his 8th win. The Royals, look at that. They're only 3.5 games back of the wild card. Is this Jacob Marcy kid going to have 100 RBIs even though he debuted a few weeks ago? He had 2 more in this game. So the first was on a sac fly before Hold up. Nathan Church. What a play for the rookie outfielder. It seems like the Cardinals just breed outfielders who can throw really hard and run fast and just cover so much ground. Back to Eric Wagaman. He has back-to-back games with a home run, so he has 8 home runs and 21 doubles, so some solid extra base stuff, but he doesn't have a great OPS, even though he doesn't strike out a lot either. He has an 80 OPS plus. He's confusing. Lars Nootbaar and Burleson combined for 2 RBIs on 2 different singles, and the Cardinals actually had a 3-run fifth, so Yuri, he's not happy, and I wouldn't be either because he had 2 base hits and 6 strikeouts over 4 1/3. That's really good, but he walked 4, so he was nasty, but also wild, and it cost himself a W. Jacob Marcy, at least he got Yuri off the hook of taking an L. Burleson, he made Dane pay for this drop. I just cannot believe that Dane Myers dropped this baseball. Herrera ended up scoring thanks to Dane letting him get on base. Pedro Pais made it 5-3. It is now 6-3 Cardinals on the wild pitch, and Nolan Gorman put the Redbirds up by 5. A 2-run home run, his 12th of the season. The Cardinals, they're still trying their best. They're 5 games back of October. The White Sox scored 10 against the Braves and Spencer Strider before the 5th came to a close. So Brooks Baldwin and Luis Robert Jr., they both torched Spencer Strider. Strider gave up 7 after giving up 5 earned runs 3 starts ago and 8 earned runs his last start, and now 7. He actually said out loud that maybe his stuff isn't as good as the past, which is scary for him to admit. But to me, he's going to be way better after a full offseason of getting back to normal. Mike Tauchman doubled in 2 after those nukes, and Lenyn Sosa has officially answered my season-long question of whether or not he's good. He's good. He had an RBI single, then a 440-foot 3-run home run. He has 13 home runs, 37 RBIs, and an 860 OPS his last 170 plate appearances. I mean, that's not a small sample size, and the chase rate and walk rate is still very worrisome, but he's shown that he can be a great baseball player. Michael Harris, I mean, good Lord. Ever since he raised his hands and stuck with it, he's been insane. He's batting .430 his last 24 games, and this seems like I'm lying. He has multiple base hits in 9 of his last 10 games. Like, what even is that? Profar had 2 home runs. Now, the Sox, they got it to 13 because Kyle Teel, he went to the chop house. Curtis Mead and Chase Meidroth, they drove in some RBIs on some singles. Harris, he secured his 4th hit, and Profar, he had 5 RBIs on a 3-run home run after that 2-run home run. And now Eli White, he can tie this game with 1 swing, but it's a called 3rd strike. That was the final chance of the Braves. The White Sox, they take it by 4. And there we have it, another recap in the books. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, both on Recap and on Twitter. If you know, you know. Thank you so much, and enjoy the web gems.
Popped up, out to shallow right field, long run for Stott. Stott going over, makes the sliding grab. Ground ball toward the middle. Henderson gets to it, spins and throws him out. Laying off the high fastball, diving catch. That's about the only way you get him out these days.
There. A line drive out into left field, and that one is handled